Hello everyone and welcome back to another Solidworks video. And for this video we're going to be going over how to create an assembly file. So far we've worked with single parts and drawings for the single parts. Now we're going to be working on assembly files where we take all those parts we've created and piece them all together. So let's go ahead and let's click on assembly. And it's going to ask us what files do we want to pull into our workspace. So I'm going to go to browse and I'm going to navigate to this folder right here. So it's important that if you have files so they're not in a zip folder, SolidWorks will not be able to access a file within a zip folder. You need to make sure that it's unzipped. So I'm going to click on this file folder right here and I'm going to bring in my first part, which is going to be this plate. Just double click on it and I'm just going to drop it somewhere down in the workspace. Alright, so now I got my first part, and take a look on the feature tree. You're going to notice this little F next to it. That's saying that it is now fixed in space. So I won't be able to move this around. So that's going to be basically the base part which I'm going to build my entire assembly off of. If I want to break that fix, I just right click on here and I click on float, and I'm free to move it around again. So I just left click on it and I can drag it around. I can also just click on move component, I can move it around, and I click the drop down. If I want to rotate it, I can do that as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's add some constraints. So once I got a part in place, so I'm actually going to delete this real quick. Just I want to bring in a plate that's nice and flat already. Okay, and it's fixed. So let's go ahead and let's bring in another plate and let's constrain it. So I'm just going to bring this one in and drop it. And now this one I'm free to move around. It does not have that fixed mate on it. But let's constrain it so it lies flat on this plate right here. So I'm going to go mate. And let's work with just the standard mates. So we've got advanced mechanical mates that we'll go over in later videos. But for right now, let's just focus on just the standard mates. So we've got coincident, we've got parallel, perpendicular, tangent, concentric, lock, which is lock, and distance and angle mates. So these are all very similar to what we've already seen with creating sketches. So if I click coincident, it's pretty self-explanatory. It'll make two features coincident with each other. So let's go ahead and I'll click on this surface right here. You'll see it highlight in blue, and I'll click on this face right here, and it's going to make those two faces coincident. So hit OK. Now I'm free to move this around. It'll always stay coincident with that face. Now if I drag it off the edge, it's still technically coincident. So it'll be coincident with the plane of this face. So I can drag it off the edge, but it still technically remains coincident. Let's add a few more mates. So I can go, let's rotate this one. So I'm going to go move component, rotate. I'm going to rotate it like this. So I can go ahead and I can add in a parallel mate. Let me delete that. Between this face, and that'll make them parallel. Perpendicular works much the same way. Okay. I can now if I try to rotate it again, I won't be able to. It just moves around. So let's see what else. Let's go to another mate. Let's do coincident again. We'll select that face and that'll put those two faces in line with each other. Hit OK. I'll do the same thing with this one, and they come in line with each other. Now I can no longer move it. So if I click on it, it's fully defined and it can no longer be moved. So let's look what else we got. So I'm going to insert a new component. I'm going to insert this pin. Drop it in. Now let's look at the other kind of mates we got in here. So I also have a concentric mate. So if I select the face here and I select the face of this hole, I can make them concentric. So now it'll move up and down. Now let's see what else I got. I can go coincident. I can make it go flush. with that face, like that. Now I can also delete mates. So under here you'll see all the mates you've created. So I'm going to hover over this one. I'm going to delete that one by right clicking, click delete. See what else I can do. So I've also got this distance mate, where I can set how far apart I want two faces to be. So I'll select that face and that face, and let's flip the direction. So I want it to be 1 inch from that face. I can define it like that. Let's see, I can also make use of the tangent mate. Let's go ahead and bring in another pin. Oh, made it. Tangent. Select that face. Flip the alignment. Now this pin will roll along this top surface. An angle mate will work very similar. Let's go ahead and I'm going to delete that. Oops. Hit OK. Click on it. Delete. Yes. Click on it. Delete. Yes. So I'm going to insert another plate. Just drop it in space like this. And now I'm going to make this edge, oops, not the face. This edge and this edge are coincident. Now it'll free to swing like a hinge. Let's go ahead and let's add in a coincident mate, this face with this face. So now it'll swing like this. I can add in an angle mate between this face and this face. Like say 30 degrees, 45 degrees, and I can also change it to get it right. So say if I wanted to go the other way, I can click reverse by flipping it, and I can also change the alignment. So angle mates can be a little tricky. You'll just have to toggle between these options to get it to where you want it to be. Alright, well that's going to do it for this video. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content such as this, and we'll see you next time. Later. Bye-bye.